Hi there guys, and welcome to another Fusion 360 tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at a feature called the sheet metal feature. So you'll find it here in the Fusion 360 menu, and this allows us to work basically with a virtual piece of sheet metal. You can draw the basic outline and then put in all of the relevant bends and create flat drawings from it. So I'm just going to do a very brief introduction, first of all, which is just how to create a piece of metal and bend it. So we're here in a new project, and I'm going to create a component. So this is a sheet metal component, and we'll call it component 1. And the sheet metal rules are going to apply. So all different types of sheet metal will have different rules. So that's different amounts of stretch and so on, the physical properties of the actual material you're working with. So we're working with steel that's millimeters thick. So we created that component, and now we can create a sketch. So we're going to start with basically a piece of sheet metal that's 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. There we go. And now we can extrude this, and we're working with metal that's 2.5 millimeters wide. So now we've got a body that's been created, but you'll see that this body is still just a standard body, even though it's under a sheet metal component here. So we'll convert to sheet metal, select that body, and now you see it shows up now a bit differently to the other bodies. It shows up as this little icon here, which signifies that this is a actual sheet metal body. Now, we want to add some bends to this, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch, select the top surface, and we'll sketch in some lines. So let's put a straight line all the way across here, and I'm going to put a diagonal line here, and another diagonal line here. Okay. I'll finish that sketch, and now we want to bend this piece of metal into this shape. So we will go to create bend. We select our stationary size, so a piece of metal that we're working with, and then basically we are just going to select edges that we want to be bent, like so. The bend by default is 90 degrees, as you can see, but we can change that bend actually. So obviously we just go into here, and we can just edit the type of bend and the angle. So you can flip it so it bends the opposite direction if you wish. Or you can choose how many degrees. So let's make this a 45-degree bend. And we'll make this one a 90-degree bend, and we'll make this one also a 90-degree bend, but we'll flip it, and then we just go to OK, and basically then it has applied those bends to the metal with the type of radius that this material would have. Obviously, you're never going to get kind of perfect 90-degree bends in your metal, so when you're bending, there's always going to be a radius, and that's partly in the material settings that you're using. The thinner the material, the smaller that radius is going to be. So that's basically the very brief introduction to the sheet metal. Now we can hide that sketch that we work with. What we can actually then do, in addition, is create a flat drawing from this. So create flat pattern, and we select our stationary face, and there. Basically, it gives us our flat pattern. So this is the layout and where the bends would be. So you just have to specify then in your technical drawing, obviously, what angle these bends are at. So obviously this one's bent at 45 degrees, so it actually consumes less material either side. The 90-degree bend has a bigger radius. So you see that center line is the center of the bend, and the dotted lines are the outer edges of the radius of the bend that's being created. you go to finish flat pattern, and then you've got the flat pattern here that you can always go back to and check. And you can create a DXF file from that could be used in production. So that's a very, very brief overview of the sheet metal functions here in Fusion 360. We'll be delving deeper into these, building more complex shapes as we go along. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in our next video.